Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorla Aparicio, and I am a group piano teacher in Cleburne, Texas. It's a rainy day here, but I have one of our group members in our Facebook group, Leann Halvorson, here today to talk to us about group piano. And I think you're going to be blown away about all the things that she's done. So welcome, Leann. And will you please introduce yourself? Tell us where you teach, where you live, all the good stuff.
Oh, hi, Darla. Thank you for asking me to be on your podcast. I really enjoy reading your group piano Facebook group. I mean, it just is a special thing that
Thank
you've
you.
done. It's great for us.
Thank you.
Sometimes we're group piano teachers and we kind of feel like we're out by ourselves. So
Yes. Yes.
it really helps us to have a group like that.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay. I'm from Columbia, Illinois, but I originally grew up in North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And so Columbia, Illinois is near St. Louis for anybody who doesn't know where that is, because it's a really tiny town of about 11,000 people. So I've been teaching group for many, many years, because I started back in, I started teaching when I was in college in 1979.
Okay.
A long time ago when I was a young kid. I went to a pedagogy course. It was a certificate program at Val City State, and now it's Val City University in North Dakota. And there were some really special people there. Carol Flatto, who used to be one of the editors for CPP Bellwin.
Okay.
She lived in Val City, North Dakota. And when I was taking group piano pedagogy classes, she was one of the teachers that we would go to different teacher studios, and we'd have to observe, and then they would observe us teaching. And it wasn't just only group, it was group in private and everything else thrown in, with business classes and psychology classes and all kinds of stuff. It was packed in there for 1 year of what you had to do. The other teacher that was my main influence for group piano was Marie Omley. She was just coming back from getting her master's degree at Columbia University in group piano pedagogy. And so she was fired up to teach us all kinds of strategies and what to do and all this kind of stuff. And so then I transferred out to a different college in Bismarck, North Dakota. And then after I got married and we got settled into the house, I said to my husband, I think I can't do private teaching anymore. I got to get a group going. And so we drove down to Minneapolis, and my first group lab was 4 little rolling keyboards that didn't do much except for piano and different rhythms and things like that. And that's where I started.
Wow.
So
that was a long time ago. You've been doing this. Yes.
Yeah, I started my group classes, I think in 1986 is when I got those.
Okay.
Yeah. But along with that, before that, I would, when I had my private studio, I would have once a month big game parties where the kids would come in and we would play games for each other. And
this is fabulous. I love the training that you had as a student, because that is almost unheard of.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was very lucky.
Business classes, group piano pedagogy.
Yeah, and the deviant and child psychology classes.
Yes,
Again, behavior and child psychology, we were required to take that. It,
amazing.
it was just, I'm not sure even now that they're doing the same things that they were doing
I
when
was
we
gonna, I was
last.
gonna ask you, that was my next question, if those universities, those schools were still developing that type of
They,
learning for the teachers.
they still have the pedagogy program. I didn't see anything listed about group teaching anymore, which I was like, ah, you know, we just, we had so much fun in those classes.
Mhm. Wonderful. So with all this beautiful training that you had and your experience with group piano, tell us what you're doing, what you have been doing in your studio. Now, I'm assuming you have your own studio where you do all of this teaching, correct?
Yeah, I'm sitting in it right now. You can't see the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've got two clavinovas next to each other here, and this is my main room. We have turned our tri-level house. The whole bottom level is kind of mine, except for the laundry room. The laundry room is the laundry room. So anyway, behind me I've got two grand pianos,
Mhm.
and then I've got over to the side another, what would be a bedroom in the house, but it's not. Turned it into a music lab with computer stations. So I've got three full-size digital pianos hooked up to computers. I've got a lot of old software and I'm still using. And then some of the things that I've developed, so that right now my group lessons are more of
Rotating?
stations, learning stations, yeah. And so the cool thing about learning stations is at any time uh, you can teach individually or you can pull in a group. You can do whatever you want to for that need of that group.
That's beautiful. Now, so how many students would you have at one time?
Well, due to parking and the size of vehicles in my town, uh, I've turned since the pandemic. My group lessons are into a 3-student group.
Okay,
I used to do 4. They come for an hour,
beautiful.
and
And
I did a smart thing when after the pandemic, and I went back into group. Um, Daniel Patterson, who also is a group teacher, he advised a business class that I took from him to leave a 10-minute gap in between each groups to allow time for the people to go and the people to come and all that kind of
yes,
stuff. And that really, if you don't do that, you just kind of feel frazzled.
yes.
If there's some kids that come early and you're still teaching a group, it's even though you have equipment and things for them to do, it's a distraction. So it's a little bit easier this way with that 10-minute in between. So I
Yes.
wanted to make sure I shared that because I thought that was a really good idea that he had.
Wonderful. Yes, it can get really busy, the coming in and out, and parents wanting to talk to you, and the toilet is running over. You know how that goes.
Too. uh, Not lately. Don't want it to happen again.
Yeah, it happens at least once a year, doesn't it?
Yes. Something in the bathroom.
Yes, something happens. Yeah, yeah. So, Leann, why don't you share with us how young you start your students and how advanced do you take them in your group lessons?
Okay. I've had students as young as 4. I kind of prefer that they wait a little bit because I require them to do more reading and their parents have to be on board and helping them if they're going to start that young.
Okay.
Currently, I don't have the parents waiting in my studio. They can come in if they ask, but I used to always let them wait here. I kind of found that in my area, they all know each other too much and the parents were talking too much. So after the pandemic kind of settled down, I just said, I think it's easier for the kids to concentrate if you stay out or do running errands and that kind of thing. And then I can just keep the kids working. If you need to come in, you can come in.
Yeah.
So that's
I think COVID helped us change a lot of rules, because my waiting area also, I was like, no more waiting area, because I also had a lot of, my waiting area is tiny, but they all wanted to be in there talking and eating and doing all kinds of stuff, but it's empty now. It's wonderful. Yeah.
it is.
So,
It's one less thing to have to think about, right?
yes, and clean. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So back to you, back to your teaching. So with your method book, music experience, how young do you start them?
I prefer that they be, I've started them at 4, like I said, but I prefer that they're age 5 to 7.
Okay.
The first book is all on the black keys.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is I'm moving them around to different geographical areas of the piano with the aid of color behind the notes that's correlated to the graphic of the piano keyboards.
Okay. Can you show us? I know you have a video on your website of your music experience A.
Let's see if I can get to that.
Oh, I thought maybe you had it on the piano there.
Well, I do have it on the piano.
Yeah, just I would love it that we could see what you mean about the color coding.
Okay.
But I thought that was really interesting.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I'll just hold this up.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so there are colors. This is the beginning one that the little kids would be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a keyboard that shows where you start
You have the hands. Yes.
and what fingers to use.
Okay. I like the little hands you have there also. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep. All my students go, why do they look like that? I'm going, that's as good as I can make them. Because I've done all the graphic work myself, except for the covers.
Wow.
My kiddo does the covers for me, and the inside graphics of different things in the book. So
very nice.
Yeah.
So that's how they start reading off staff, and it's color coded to match the piano.
Yeah.
So
how does it progress?
Mhm.
Well, this is a book that I printed without a cover. Okay. I've got, this is kind of more spread out, because this is one that I did after I started doing the iPad, because I thought I got to match them, and I think I don't need to match them. I put too much stuff on a page. I'm guilty of doing that.
Okay.
Let me get a song here. This is out of the first book in the next series. So I'm still using the same thing there. Then I've got questions about the piece, and then here's the piece. And the side of the staff on the beginning of the grand staff has the colors. Yeah. And then there are ensembles, student playable ensembles for each solo. So each solo, I've just showed you the solos. Each solo has a low part, a high part, and a percussion part.
Okay. I was wondering about that when I was watching your video, because you played the music and then you showed the solo part. And which looks just like a regular piece we would give our private student. But then on the other page, there are 3 different parts to add to it, right? So will this be something that could be used multi-level, or are your students all kind of like the same age and skill when they would complete this ensemble?
This would be more of same age and skill.
Okay. Okay.
But if I'm doing learning centers, I can work on, like I can have an older student working in my computer lab, completing something from the music study sheets,
Mhm.
doing work with that, or another computer program. Well, I work with different kids that are the same age.
Yes.
In my area, they are very busy, like most of the United States. So getting, as I'm sure you understand this because you're doing multi-levels, getting the same age of kids together in a group, very difficult,
Very difficult. Yes.
very difficult.
Unless you have a big studio where you can draw students from other classes, but yeah.
Yeah. So if I work in this way, I can match. Now, sometimes I can take an older student that has more experience and then throw them on, a harder part with a younger student and that
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yes. That's awesome. So how many books are in your method?
Right now, I start at A and I end at E. I want to do a couple more. We've been very involved. Unfortunately, our dog just passed away last weekend.
Oh,
He
I'm
was 14
sorry.
and a half, and we had just a lot of care that was happening with that. So
Mhm.
no writing got done since December, really.
Oh,
But I'll be back working at it.
okay.
Yeah.
So your books go from A to E, so that's what, 5 books, but it goes from beginner level up to
Okay, it's kind of when I was starting to write this, I thought, I don't know if you remember the prep course with Alfred.
yes.
I was kind of trying to gear my books into
Mm,
kind of the same leveling with that. Not quite, but
right.
it's concept based. So I'm trying to like teach a concept, and then the pieces about the concept and everything else is revolving around that. The ensembles are a lot of the time Orff
Okay.
based.
Mhm.
So they're learning a short ensemble part that just gets repeated, but the important thing about that is they have to learn to keep it steady and
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
And with
Yeah.
the backing tracks, if I have just one student, they can still get the benefit of
Of the
doing all the
ensemble.
parts in the group, even if there's only one student at that level.
Yes. So then your music also brings backing tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for all the pieces.
For all the pieces.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Leann, I also saw that you have Melody Shape Cards.
Oh yeah, they're right here.
Yeah, show those too. Okay.
So, the first ones are just like this, and so that would be going with the A book mainly. And let's see, do I have the ones with the lines? My cards are a mess. I
Mhm.
teach with them all the time. Okay, so I have them progress into just beginning thinking about the lines while they're on the black keys. But then in the A book, I also make them play these on the white keys so they get used to doing that.
Okay.
And they can do them that way,
Oh,
or
you
they
can turn them around. Okay.
flip them. And then when they get into the B book, can you tell I was teaching last night? Yeah. And when they get into the B book, it's seconds through fifths.
Mm,
So like this would be,
yes.
an
Okay.
example, and then of course flip it and you have
Right.
something else. There's so many things you can do with these. You can use them for sight reading. You can use them for transposing into different keys. I'm going to hold one of those up again. I don't know if that's the same one or not. Once they're here, they're not on a clef system. And the reason for that is the lowest note becomes the tonic. So
Okay.
that you can play it in any key.
Yes.
So
Perfect.
it's interval.
Yeah.
Interval.
For them to read it intervallically. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we also use them to jumpstart compositions because they become good motives for that. I use them for training for harmonization because they can play. If you have a group of kids down here, you can have some of the group playing the melody and the other playing what they think the harmony should be for that particular card. And then there's a harder set that has accidentals and stuff. I'll pull out a card so you can see the intervals just get bigger. I don't have accidentals on this one, but
Okay.
yeah. And so I'm teaching them, how to harmonize that because that's an important skill.
Now, do the students take these cards home, or do you only use them in the studio?
Kind of both. Kind of in a transition area with that too. When I started the iPad writing, I put all of the flashcard things in the iPad app because how are you going to get the flashcards in an iPad? So any of those from Time Warp Technologies, the flashcards are included as a separate activity with a MIDI file that goes with it. I have been sending a lot of flashcards home with kids. Unfortunately, sometimes the mates clean and they go away, and that I don't appreciate because they need to use them. So anyway.
So where can teachers find your music, your books, your backing tracks, the cards?
Okay. The music experience books are on my music perceptions website.
Okay.
And I attached a Word document with links. And so my website is very old. We're in the development stage of it. And so we got a new one almost done. It'll be nice when it's done. It's better. You'll be able to find things easier and see what's going on. The flashcards are out there. So anything that's printed is on my Music Perceptions website.
Oh, so your music experience books are all paperback books, right? They're printed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the music experience books that I have finished, I've only got the B1. I can't do this book on SuperScore for Time Warp Technology yet because it's pre-reading and it's not going to work with that system.
I see.
So I've got a bunch of the Christmas books out there, not a bunch, but some of them. I will be putting more out there too. But those are there that you can order on SuperScore Music.
Okay.
Or SuperScore for the iPad. They're the same as my other things. I didn't put my books onto Sheet Music, these books onto Sheet Music Plus because they have a stipulation that digital downloads shouldn't have much color, and I've got tons of color.
Oh, okay.
I did put all the music study sheets books that I've written for the Illinois State Music Teachers Association out there.
Okay.
Because they don't have color.
Yeah.
So they're all out there for digital download, and you could either get them print from me or you can get them.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Before we go, Leann, I know you don't have it there because we talked about this already, but your assignment book. I thought it was fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
But I love journals and books and anything you have to write in, even though I don't use them anymore because I'm on an iPad. But my question was, with your assignment book, I was thinking, how are you using it with your group lessons? Like, when in your rotating group lessons, when do you have time to write in their assignment book?
Okay. What I'm doing now is I'm not even really using my assignment book. I'm using my music staff
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
typing. However, I'm thinking about going back to using my
Oh.
because unfortunately, even though I'm sending emails out to the parents, it's not getting delivered to the kids, and the kids are getting, that magic triangle that's on my assignment book is not happening, and it needs to happen to have success.
Yes.
So when I used to use my assignment books only, what I would do is as the students were doing something, I would quick write,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't put as much into like what I type.
Oh,
Very, very short, you're doing this, you're doing that, you need to work on this, and the kids had, I did a stars or color star system where if they would pass something, I would give them a certain color star. When they would get
mm-hmm.
so many stars, then they would get to pick out of my goodie box. Well, after COVID, that went away, but I think I'm bringing that back. It was a good motivator.
Okay. Okay. Yes, that's a problem with my music staff, that if the kids don't have email, I always tell them you have to ask your parent for it. You have to ask, but that is tricky. I think all of us teachers are always trying to figure out how to get the communication with parent and child and teacher going.
Yeah, what I was thinking, if I went back to using my assignment book again, then I would just have my own cell phone handy and I would take a scan of it. So I had my own record of each page for each student.
Yes. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
I do like about my music staff assignments is that I've got record of what we did the last week and we just roll. And I don't have to do a whole lot of, extra writing.
Right. Well, this has been so good, Leann. I'm glad we got to chat about group piano. And before we say goodbye, is there anything else that you would like to share with our teachers?
Don't be afraid of being a group teacher. There are so many benefits, really. And there's so many different ways to do it to make it work for you.
Yes. I love that. I'm all for that. Every teacher is different and they're going to bring something unique to their teaching and make it their own, and it's going to work. It's going to work. Yeah. Thank you so much again. If you would like to put your Music Perceptions website on the comments for this video, when we're done talking, that would be great. So everyone can watch your videos and see all the samples of your music and all the different things that can be done with group piano.
Okay. I attached a Word doc that has links, and then there's a Music Perceptions order blank to the chat.
Wonderful. Okay, that would be great. Thank you so much, Leann.
Thank you, Dorla.
This has been great. The work that you've done with your curriculum is amazing, what you've done. And so your students are very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
All righty. We'll see you. Bye-bye.